Hi everyone, it's Lori and welcome to my channel. I hope you are all doing well today. So today I am going to do a flip through of my very first flip-flop journal, and she is called Nora's Legacy. This right here is just a pack, guys. It's got some just some extra bits and stuff in there. We have this little charm here that kind of matches, so this is going to be a surprise to the new owner, so I am not going to flip through that, but I did want her to be able to see a completed flip through, so we'll get right into it. So for the closure, I just used some of this blue crinkled seam binding and some vintage lace. So we've just got that tied around as a loose closure. It does go around a couple of times. So we have that. So this is the front, and these papers were from Christy at Everlasting Journals, so you guys make sure to go over there and check her out. So on the front we have this little flip out here, and I did make it into a pocket, and in here I have just put an antique envelope. It's just the envelope, but it's January the 2nd, 1923. So we just pop that in there, and there are a lot of little pieces of antique vintage ephemera in here. I just love this image of this lady here. As soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted her on my cover. Do have some lace down here behind her. So we flip that up, and all of these are just, you know, pages from the paper pack. I did put some various laces in where the spine is going to be. And in this little coffee dyed glassine bag, we just have some goodies in there for her to play with. And then just this card here. This is a little tuck spot back here behind that card, and this was just decoupaged and some handmade embossed paper there. So the first one's for a lot of writing, really. Just have a little envelope tucked in that pocket. This, guys, I am not sure what this material is, but I absolutely love it, so I wanted to include that in there. This is a vintage 1946, so again, lots of vintage papers and antique papers. And then there's the other side of that fabric. And then in here is a check from the People's Bank, and this is 1902. So I just wanted to put her lots of vintage and antique ephemera. And then the other side of that glassine bag. Didn't do anything to that. Put a little bit of my authentic vintage tape up there that was on some medical documents that I had scored at a estate sale. And this will be the second signature. There are 5 signatures. So here's this little library pocket here that we made. And I did put handmade by Lori at Enchanted Dream 71 on the back. Some little bling and some lace up there. Some more of that tape here, if you can see it. It's really faint on camera, but it looks really, really nice in person. And then I did use some sample stamps. And this is stamped on antique book page. And then here, I just took this little clip-on this bag. I had made some of these little over-the-page clips. So I just put her some goodies in this little pocket. So that's kind of a blank one. And then some of that paper for her to play with if she chooses to make her own. And there's some more very vintage paper. Have a tag in here. This is 1959. And this tag is actually from Rachel over at Rock's Creations, and I've sewn around it. Backed it with tea-dyed, I believe it was. And inside here, it's really squishy, is actually patterned, sewn pattern paper. And then we have this beautiful hand-dyed lace here that I've made into a pocket. And here is this one. Now, I had asked her if she wanted me to back the back of the tags, and she said no. So those were intentionally left blank for her. Some crinkled seam binding at the top. And this is avocado dyed paper. And just took a beautiful image here, a little bit of lace behind it on this antique book page, and turn it over, and we have a that's an antique some type of document. I believe that is in Italian. It's from Rachel over at Roxy Creations. So I just put that over and put a rusty paper clip over that. This is where I printed one of my antique documents on vellum. And then this beautiful dyed paper I thought went perfect with this journal. And sewed that into a pocket in another piece of antique ephemera. And then this, I believe, was... hold on just a moment. Alright, sorry about that, guys. And then on this one, for the middle of the signature, we have another... I believe this is a vintage sheet here, if I'm not mistaken. And then in this pocket, it's just folded over, again, a piece of... it's either antique or vintage. I'm not sure which on that one. And then the other side of that document on vellum. It's the other side of that antique book page and another, I believe, let's see, it looks like this says 1928. So almost antique, not quite. And we just have that tucked there. And I know she is going to do a lot of writing in this journal, so I wanted to make sure to leave her plenty of space for that. This is a heirloom, from my understanding, that's going to be passed down. This right here is just that little flip up with various pages, vintage pages in there that you can actually take apart. It's just held together with a brad and use those in your projects. Other side of that page, this is vintage. The little coin envelope there. So that is the Sackett signature. Absolutely beautiful pages. I love Christie's kits. They're so pretty. And then you turn this over and we have this little pocket that we made here. And I just put in a couple of strips again for her to play with. Just some very vintage letter there. Pieces of it. And then here on this sheet, I took this beautiful lady and laid her down on top of some... lace there. Sorry about that. Went completely blank. And then another antique book page. I have sewn it into a little tuck and another one of those tags from Rachel. And then another lace pocket and another one of those tall tags there with the crinkled seam binding at the top. Again, layered her with some lace behind her. And this image I actually printed out on vellum. And another pocket here. Antique piece of a letter. And then here is one of the over the page paper clips. So I just did a little collaging and we have a little card in there that we made. And then we have a little dangle up top here that I also made. Sam Poole stamp. I think that's her dates from the past. And then the middle of this signature is another vintage typed letter of some sort. It's it's refrigeration system. Yeah. And then I put two of my mark making watercolor paint swatches on there. And then this we had made quite a while back. We just redid the image right here and put a little bit of that there. This sheet here is a digital in my shop from my 1871 Peterson's magazine. And then some vintage, I believe this one, yeah, they're both book pages in there, and that is just clipped on there. And that sheet is a full sheet. You can't open it up and do some private messages or journaling inside there. And then in this pocket here, again, it's sewed. We have a different check there. This is 1919, so that is antique. And then the other side of the vellum. And then in this, we have some more antique book page, just a sheet folded up in there. And then that is the end of the third signature. This is the back cover. I wanted to leave it flat, course, you can't go wrong with these beautiful digitals anyway. And then you flip this open at the back. Absolutely love this. And we have another library pocket there that we made together with a tag in there. Some more of that authentic age tape. An antique book page, put her little piece of handmade embossed paper in there. Another pocket made with some lace, and another one of those tall cards with some crinkled seam binding tag. And then this one I actually printed on vellum, but it was I think this was one of my antique documents. And then we have that beautiful blue, another antique sheet there. That vintage sheet in the middle. I just love this sheet. It's got that natural patina to it. It is so pretty. And then another vintage receipt there from Italy. And the other side of the vellum. Here's another one of those tall ones that we made. And I put a well-tailed tab on it. So it's just a very tall journaling card. And this is Antique Ledger. I believe it was like 1909 maybe, or 1902, something like that. That just goes in there. And then we have another dangle up here that we made. And we flip that, and over here on this antique book page is another one of those Rachel at Roxy Creations tags. And then we put this beautiful image there. Again, her pages are so pretty. And then of course we have the lace going down the spine there. Turn it over to the fifth and last signature. We have this beautiful image there. Absolutely love it. And then we have some more goodies here in that glassine. This is, which one is this one? Yep, that's my one of my original antique documents. Just printed it on the vellum. And then another sheet from Rachel over at Roxy Creations. Antique book page. Included another antique. Nothing inside, just the envelope, but I love old envelopes. We have another lace pocket here, and again, all the lace pockets have been stitched. Some lace behind this image on that beautiful tag that we made. And then this right here is pretty fragile, but I just included a couple of pieces of hand-dyed trim, and this is from Sheila at Boho Daydreams. And then we have just like a wraparound tuck here, and a piece of vintage ephemera in there. Same thing for this side. I just made it more of a tuck because I didn't want it to be too snug. And then on this little tuck spot here, again, has been sewn down. This is 1924, so next year that will be antique. And that is a check from Emmett, Idaho. And then we have another antique check here, 1921, authentic. I really wanted her to have plenty of authentic pieces in here. And then this is the back page. Beautiful. I chose her with the red because there was red in the stamps in the bird, and I just thought that would bring that out and be very pretty. And now we are back to the front cover, guys. So that is it. This is Nora's Legacy. I want to thank you all for coming along with me. As I put her together, I had lots of fun doing this journal. Absolutely had so much fun, and I am very delighted and happy with where she's going to be going to live out many years, being an heirloom that is going to be passed down for hopefully generations to come. I do have to stamp my handmade by in the back. So there we go, guys. Alright, thank you all so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. I love you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.